so much. Wow. How are you guys? You good? Good. Let's do this. Like you said, my name is Harris. I came from Nashville. Basically, I'm here to hang out with you for a few minutes and deceive you, which I'm really excited about. But I'm about to mess with your minds, sort of assault your senses, pretty much try to trick you every single chance I get. The good news is I'm not a politician, all right? I'm an illusionist. And so while I will trick you, I'm also going to tell you the truth. If it's okay with you, I want to make you a part of the presentation. Is that okay? Can you guys participate? All right, let's get you guys on. Everybody take their hands, put them out in front of you like this. Hands out in front. Everybody participate. Hands out in front. Hands out in front. Adults too. Come on, do it. I'm not going to take your wallets, all right? I promise. Step number one, just take your hand. Just stretch them out like this really well. Holy cow. Are you guys okay? There's like a stressed out section right here. Someone just broke like 14 fingers. That sounded like it hurt. As soon as your hand's stretched out, put your hands out in front of you again. This time you're gonna take your thumbs that are facing up, just simply turn them down to the inside like this so they're facing down. Backs of your hands together. Looks good. Take one arm, cross it over the other. That's where things get a little more complicated. See if you can take your hands and lock your fingers back together. Squeeze them together really tight. Don't let go. Keep your thumbs down. Thumbs down. Hold that right there. Just wanna make sure everyone's actually participating. Got a couple people back there in the back not participating. Got you guys. Oh, no, they snapped to it quick. Good job. All right, keep squeezing really tight. All right, final step goes like this. Everyone watch, follow along. Here we go. All right, thumbs up. Just give them a quick twist. No? Okay, maybe not. Everybody do this. All right, you're catching on. Hey, when I was 9 years old, my grandmother gave me a magic set for Christmas, and I wasn't really interested in magic at the time, but that little box of magic tricks ended up completely changing my life. And later on as I'm in school, people knew me as the kid who does magic tricks, and this guy came up to me, and he's like, hey man, he didn't actually perform it for me. That trick I just did for you, he just explained it. He's like, did you know if you walk up to a complete stranger, and then you ask them to do this and this with their hands, that person will have no idea how to get their thumbs facing up. And I said to him, man, no one would ever fall for something so simple. And I went and tried it for someone. Their mind was blown. They said, that was ridiculous. How in the world did you do that? And I walked away from that experience thinking, oh man, it is so easy for us to be tricked and deceived. And you know what I've discovered? It's true. As I've traveled around the world over the last 15, 20 years doing magic shows, it is easy for us as human beings to be tricked and deceived. But here's what I've learned. It's not because you guys aren't smart. You guys are very intelligent human beings, as you just heard Dr. Leaf explain to you, very intelligent human beings. I've just discovered that the average person, maybe unlike a magician or an illusionist or a con man, not that that's what I am, but they actually haven't studied the subject of deception and really understands how trickery works. And so rather than me just explain that to you, let me show you guys what I mean. A little over 10 years ago, I was on this tour in Southeast Asia. I was performing in 2 countries on this tour, India and then Sri Lanka, which is this little island off the southern coast of India. While I was in Sri Lanka, I performed an illusion with an old antique table, very similar to this one up here on stage. After the show, this guy comes up to me, out in this remote village, comes up to me. He's like, hey man, the thing with the table, I've actually seen that exact same table before. And in my mind, I'm thinking, there's no way. And he goes on to explain to me that down the street from where he lives in his village, there's a man who has a table that looks exactly like mine. Only he said that the guy who had the table said that it could move around, that it could actually slide across the floor without anyone touching it. He said that was possible because of spirits, that the spirits were manifesting their presence by possessing the table and making it move. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to believe, so I decided, let's just go visit this man with this mysterious table. Let's do a little bit of research. And what I discovered that day shocked me and taught me a powerful lesson I will never forget. Before I tell you what that was, I want to perform this for you. To do that, I need some help from the audience. I want to actually get one of you up here on stage. I know that might be a little weird in an event like this, but I need someone to help me out. If you'd like to help out, just raise your hand. Yeah, how about, right there in the red sweatshirt at the end. Yeah, come on up. Everybody clap for her. Encourage her. Give her a big round of applause. The girl. Hey, how are you? My name's Harris. What's your name?
I'm Jada.
Jada. Very nice to meet you, Jada. If you wouldn't mind, stand right over here on this side of the table. I'm going to place the table right here in between you and I. Jada, your job is really simple. There's a tablecloth draped across the top of the table. I just need you to help me hang onto the corners of the tablecloth, all right? There's one corner here. Just grab one corner in each hand. I'm going to hold the 2 corners on this side over here with my hands. And no matter what happens, Jada, do not hold this table down. Like, don't put any downward pressure on it or anything like that. Just hold the corners lightly. If this works, sometimes it doesn't. If it works, if the table decides to move, I just need you to move with the table, okay? Let's give Jada a big round of applause for helping us out. Jada, thanks so much for your help. Watch your step, all right? Make sure you watch your step as you go back to your seat. You guys can do better than that. Give it up for Jada, come on. Well done, well done, well done. All right, ridiculous, right? Let me tell you what's really ridiculous. Remember the guy I just told you about who told me he'd seen this table before over in Sri Lanka? Guys, I could not believe this. Not making this up. Down the street from where this guy lived, the guy that came to my show, the guy who told me about it really existed. There really was a man in his village who had a table, and his table really did look exactly like mine. However, we discovered the part about him communicating with spirits and all that stuff, that was a big fat lie. He was doing nothing supernatural. Trust me, I believe in the supernatural, but this guy was doing nothing supernatural in any way whatsoever. And people hear me tell that story all the time, and they're like, yeah, but how do you know for sure? Because it looked pretty spooky and real to me, right? Well, I know for sure because I went to visit him. After talking to the guy, I found out that he got his table from the same place I got mine. He ordered it from a magic trick catalog from the state of Kansas, all the way from the United States of America. Dude was doing a magic trick. Now, it was a difficult trick. Does that mean that anyone can just call like 1-800-MAGIC-TRICKS and order the floating table thing? No, magic is not found in the prop itself. It's intangible. It's found in the presentation of the performer. That means it took he and I about 6 months of hard work and practice invested into what you just saw to be able to perform it the way that you just experienced it. But it was just a trick. And I got to be honest with you guys, as I got on the plane and started flying all the way across the ocean back home to America, this is all I could think about was this guy with the table. All I kept thinking was, if it was totally fake, if it wasn't real, why is it that literally thousands of people in his country believed the lie that he was telling them? And I don't mean like a little harmless white lie. I mean like literally thousands of people in his country turning away from everything they believed to be true about life, becoming followers of his worldview, making the choices and lifestyle changes that he encouraged them to make, all because of his supposed power, evidenced by a single magic trick on stage. Or in his case, a little hut with burning candles. And as I thought about this, it hit me. I had this epiphany. And all of a sudden, all the skills and the talents that I've spent the majority of my life learning took on this whole new meaning and purpose. And I realized that the principles of deception are universal. What I mean by that is this. I realized that day, through that experience, that the same principles of deception that guys like me, magicians and illusionists, use to trick people like you in the context of a magic show, those exact same principles are used by people all around the world every single day to trick us into believing all sorts of stuff that's not true. And we have a tendency to believe them many times because we trust our senses, right? I mean, how many guys saw this table levitating with your own eyes? You saw it with your own eyes, right? And we hear things like that. We hear, well, I saw it with my own eyes, or I heard it with my own ears. And we have little sayings that we've coined, like seeing is believing. But here's the thing. What I do for a living proves that seeing is not always believing. Now, what's fascinating about that idea, as you just heard from Dr. Leaf, is that we've discovered that believing is actually seeing. That's what I was thinking about while he listened to her talk. It's like, okay, what I do proves that seeing is not always believing, but what we believe actually changes what we see. You see, the people in Sri Lanka, they believed it was possible for some spirits to make a table levitate. Therefore, their belief of that idea changed what they saw. And in their minds, they saw something supernatural. I came onto the scene and I believed that it was a trick. And because of what I know about deception and what's possible and what's not, I was able to see a simple magic trick. So if we take this idea and apply it to our lives, we begin to understand the importance, the utmost importance of us developing at least an awareness of the fact that it's possible for us to get tricked into believing some stuff that's not true. Or to place a little bit higher priority on specifically and intentionally understanding what we are allowing to influence our senses, because your senses tell your brain what to think, and many times your thoughts, they turn into feelings and emotions which drive the choices that you make, and if you make those choices often enough, they become habits that are difficult to break and ultimately end up shaping your destiny, which means many times your futures are determined just by the things that you look at and the people that you listen to or the choices that you make based on what seems like a good idea at the time. I'm here to remind you that things are not always as they seem. And you, despite what the world tells you, you already are enough, despite the fact that there are 5,000 messages and advertisements, many times illusions, trying to tell you who you should be or what you're capable of. Recognize, as you just heard, you have so much ability and so much more potential than currently meets your eye. Why would you let the world do your thinking for you when you can engage, think for yourself, go on to live your dreams? To me, that's ridiculous. Thanks.